Okay, so I want to go through live sound, because when you understand live sound, I think it's going to help you go into the studio more easily. Because when you understand what you have in live sound, you're going to know the basic components with a few differences. So what do you have? Live sound, what do you have? What do you need for live sound?
A speaker.
So,
Live people.
Speaker. Trey says a speaker. No, you need an audience, but don't be dependent on the audience. You may not get the audience. You need a speaker. Okay, that's what you need. What else do you need? You need a microphone.
You need some cables, yo.
So cables to what?
Input
To the
output.
speakers.
Yeah. So connect this microphone to the speaker.
To
So
the
us
speaker.
talking isn't live sound?
But now when you have when
Why?
you're talking when you need cables,
Wait, that is live sound.
but can I plug a microphone right into a speaker?
No.
What do I need?
Plug the microphone into the cable.
Well, cable, but then when you're going into the speaker,
Oh, you need that.
what is that?
It's like a
A monitor.
it's like a table.
Is it-
Look through your sheets. What do you see? Anything that reminds
Is
you
it
of
a
what it might
monitor?
be?
Is that a monitor?
But
It's a mixing console.
it's a mixing console is exactly what it
Right
is.
there.
Damn it.
And I'm like, okay. Mixing why? What does a mixing console do?
Because it mixes everything together.
What's
Trey is
everything?
super clever.
What's everything?
It like everything you connect to, like microphones.
Nah, like how many microphones?
Like any
As many as you need.
And like what else?
instruments.
Instruments.
Guitars.
What else?
You can control the frequency.
Okay,
high pitch.
so the mix can also control things like frequencies. What else do you need? You got a mixer, what else do you need? Trey, what else do you need? You said something.
You need, I don't need to know.
What did you say before? You said something, the word, it was an M word.
Monitor?
Yes, what is a monitor?
Ooh, I'm super smart.
What's a monitor?
They
Like
sound
this
to
screen.
What? Oh, no, not a video monitor.
Nah, the monitor is the thingy-majigger that they use to play. I don't remember.
It plays
Travis.
toward the performance.
It
So
bounces
speakers-
back to, doesn't it bounce back the sound to the performer?
Yes, speakers. Okay, so monitor is a speaker to do what? Speaker for what?
I just had it here.
To hear
For the,
yourself.
what's it called? So the artist can hear themselves, right?
Exactly right. Exactly right. The speakers that let the artist hear what they're doing,
You
right?
need amps.
Okay, what's an amplifier?
It allows.
Something that amplifies the sound.
That's exactly right.
It
So
allows
let's
to have
talk about
more. Yeah.
So you need amplifiers. Where are the amps going to go?
On Sesame Street.
On Sesame?
Where would you be
You got your wedges here. What sometimes, by the way, speakers, monitors, sometimes are also called wedges.
I'm thinking about wedges from. Never mind.
Microphones,
Wow.
mixing console. Okay, amplifiers go where?
Amplifiers behind the performance,
Well,
possibly.
they
sometimes
go. Where do they go?
Above.
What we're talking about now is, what is this whole thing called? This thing I'm drawing is what? Setup, you said? Yes, it is, but there's a path. I'm looking at, what am I looking at as it goes this way? It's at the very beginning of your handout.
Signal flow.
This is all about signal flow.
Oh, you so smart, Goose.
This is all about signal flow. And where's the signal flowing? It's flowing from,
The mic.
well, from the
The
artist,
person.
right? From the artist.
To the mic, through the
the-
cord, through the.
Who's over here?
Yeah.
Who's over here?
The audience.
The audio.
To the audiences, all these smiling faces that are so excited about what you guys are doing. Right?
Eyes are confused.
Yeah, some people are not feeling too well. So this is all about signal.
What?
And now amplifiers are what make this, by the way, an amplifier, which is a symbol like that, takes a signal and makes it much louder. And they are hooked up to the speakers.
This is
From,
like geometry class.
what's that? The amplifier?
No, all the shapes is on the board.
Yeah, I mean, they're very common shapes, and they try to duplicate what's going on in other fields, because why learn something new? So what we're gonna do this week is, what else do we have? We have a mixer here, we have a signal path that goes to the wedges back to the artist. We have a microphone here that's going to the mixer to the speakers. And what we want to do is each one of these has a particular way to set it up. Take a look at the big highlights on the handout now. So we just talked about what signal flow is. What are some of the other big bolded
Mixing
sections?
console.
And that is where,
Ooh, crossovers. What is that? I know about basketball.
Graphic
Because I've been doing
equalizer.
people on the court.
So-
Subwoofers.
this is what we're going to be working in, graphic
Yeah, me too.
equalizer.
Mine.
Trayvon, you said something else. What did you say?
Crossovers.
Crossovers.
Subwoofers.
What is a subwoofer? Anybody know?
Isn't that like
It's
a
any system
Can't you put that in your
with
car?
multiple-
You can definitely put it in your car.
I know somebody that had that in their car.
I know somebody who
What's
has
a
them, they're so
subwoofer?
big,
It's like for
you barely put anything else in
Is
your
it
car.
for reinforcement?
I know
Yes.
somebody that had that in their trunk. It's like
Subwoofers are for low frequency sound.
Slash gain.
They're
Yep.
amplifiers of low frequency sound.
That's exactly what it is. So it's one of these speakers out here in front, usually very large, usually very powerful, and there to hit you in the chest. And what did you have?
hot like sriracha.
I had where was it? Right here.
Yep. So that is going to be here. Nautica's talking about frequency and gain. Now, we already learned about
Inserts.
frequency. What was frequency
Insert.
again?
Not like
How do I-
What did you say?
Frequency is what?
Waves, I like sound waves.
Nobody heard that?
It's about what?
Sound waves.
It's about how,
How fast they're moving.
Melody, you said already, how
Oh, how high and low.
how high or how low it is, right? And that all deals, when I want to balance it, does anybody know what that means
What
when you
about
want to
EQ?
balance? Wait. When you want to balance the frequency, you need to, which also means what?
You need to be cute. Wait.
No,
What
hold
are
on,
we
wait.
on
I
right now?
gotta find.
Equalizer?
Shut
I didn't know where we were. I was asking.
Equalize.
Okay.
Equalize
I was about to say
sound.
equation.
What?
I was about to say equation.
It's equalize. When you equalize the sound, and remember when I was changing like the high frequency and making it higher or making it sound more muffled? That is what a graphic equalizer can do. And by the way, there's some right here. You look down here. These are graphic equalizers, and that you actually, what you do is you can make it, these are all little knobs. And we'll play with these this week. It allows you to be able to change each one of these as a frequency, just like we were talking, remember when you saw that long strip of all the different frequencies there and you could listen to them? This allows you to make that particular frequency higher or lower, depending on what you want. And that's what's called a graphic equalizer. You asked what a crossover is. And what a crossover is it takes all of those signals and it separates them into different regions. So if you've got a subwoofer, you want only what frequencies to go to them? Low. Your very low frequencies. And the crossover will take that broad band of frequencies, separate them so that only the lows will go to the subwoofer, and only the rest of it will go to whatever other speakers you want, or separate them even further. What else? What else is in there?
Accents.
Aux sends. We haven't really dealt with aux when we're dealing with Pro Tools yet.
Power amps.
Power amps were over here, right?
Aux Channel is like six. when you connect your phone to the car radio.
Everybody knows what an aux cable is, right? Do you know why do they call it that?
Huh?
Audio.
Wait.
It's
are we talking about
auxiliary.
accent?
Boot
Aux
up procedures.
That is the most important thing in that. That's the most important thing.
For real?
What, the Buddha?
Channel
The
strip.
auxiliary are
Channel
separate
strippers.
signal flows that you can use for what? Why would you want a separate signal flow? What do you think, Travis?
Maybe there's something that, like, say you want one signal flow for the singing and one signal flow for, say, you're using a track,
Right?
or even separate signal flows for every
You're
instrument.
gonna have separate inputs for sure. But think of this, if I am, anybody, you've seen bands, right, playing?
Yeah.
And if there's a singer out front, what he and or she might want might be different. So if I'm the singer and you're the bass player,
Yeah.
you might say, I want to have a lot of drums in my monitor. And the singer may say, I need a lot of keyboard in my monitor. So your auxiliary send can take an aux out of each one of those channels and send it to different speaker wedges or headphone ear monitors so that they can get exactly what they want and be comfortable on stage. Because it's all about the person singing or performing that you wanna make comfortable.
That makes a lot of sense.
Does
Like,
it?
I'm thinking about like how that would work in a performance situation,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like say, for example, like you said, the keyboard, the singer might say, I want more keys,
Right.
because they're gonna be listening to that to check their tonality, to do all of that. Basses might need that, so thus the auxiliary sounds would be extremely important in a
Exactly.
performance.
And let's say you have 4 auxiliary settings, and
Identity.
auxiliary 1 goes to the drummer and auxiliary 2 goes to the bass player, then I can send more of that monitor, that signal to the drummer and less to the bass player. And that's what these are for. And in live sound, you're limited by how many the board has. In Pro Tools, there are like 100. All right, what else is, now, we have one other thing, and we're gonna end here. Trayvon, you said what? You said
Wait, don't say it yet, don't say it yet, don't say it yet. Boot up procedure.
boot up
I was
procedure.
gonna start rapping.
And I'm gonna end with that. Boot up means what? What does boot up mean?
When you get you a
Turn
little
on.
shorty, nah, saying you go to the movies and to the mall, and
I miss
So when you turn on the
Especially
system.
Is what?
It's when you turn on the system.
Booting up means you're turning something on. And so here's really an important thing, and let's just simplify this incredibly weird looking graphic. If you've got a microphone into a
Don't fall
mixer,
off the chair.
into a power amplifier, into speakers. So you've got all this connected. It's a very, very basic kind of thing. Can anybody, what happens when you turn, anybody ever turn on an audio gear and what does it make a sound? Sometimes it makes a sound, right?
yeah.
So just think, if I were gonna turn on things, let's say each one of
Sounds
these
like
things
Pop-Tart.
has a on switch. What do you think I'd wanna turn on first, and what do you think, or
Wait,
more importantly,
what?
what do you think I wanna turn on
Wait,
last?
what's the order? Ow.
You'd want to turn on the speaker less.
You wanna turn this on last, do you know why? And that is correct, why?
Because
Because if you turn it on before, oh, you can go ahead.
What are you saying? I was about to make up something. Continue.
I think that it's because, like, if you turn the speaker on and then you turn something else on, like, for example, like we did with the microphone, you're going to end up with the speaker turned up, you're going to have feedback, there's going to be a bunch of problems that you're going to run into because none of that other stuff was on, and, like, you're getting that electrical signal to just, like, jump into it.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is that like when you're playing a bass guitar, right, and you turn on the amp before you plug in?
Yes, that's a good way, but that's another good way to think about it, is that when you turn on the amp, and then you like take the wire that's going into the amplifier, you just plug it in, you hear that loud buzzing and such like that, that's because this power amplifier is already on, and its job is to amplify whatever signal it's getting. If it's getting what we call a transient, or a signal that you don't want, it's still gonna go through the speakers. And in some cases, when you turn on a mixer, like when you turn this on, it may make a little pop. Now, if there's no power amp turned on, you won't hear that pop. But if the power amp is on, it's already turned all the way up, that pop could be damaging to your ears, damaging to the equipment, and it could be a real problem. So the order to turn things on is you turn your power amplifiers on last, because you're turning on your mixer and any other output gear first. Then you turn on the power amps. And so you're turned off in what order?
You turn it off backwards.
Exact opposite. Turn off your amps first, then turn off the rest of the stuff, okay? All right, so this week what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these sheets and go through and build a number of different PA systems. Because once you understand the signal flow of a PA system, you're gonna be able to go into our control room for a recording studio and have a lot better ideas.
Oh.
All right, let me pause on.
Yo, Trez, you about to get in here in 8th velocity touch spin.